Okay, so next Skip the Line reaction is for Lais Scort. Another one. Thank you very much for supporting the channel, and thanks very much for requesting all those Skip the Lines. I really appreciate it. They've been quite hot. A lot of people have really enjoyed these Skip the Lines, so I appreciate that. At least I'm doing something right. At least, right? Lais Scort, no more shoulds, right? The cover is spelt wrong, but as you know, fails happen. Shoulds. I actually, when I looked at that, I'm like, hey, I thought it was meant to be like that. I thought it was like your version of shoulds. Right? Like it was a creative choice, right? To do it your way. Kind of like how Bulgari spelled Bulgari wrong and it's spelled Bulgari. I thought maybe you were like going for that creative type sense. But anyway, let's go. Anyway, we'll get over that one. Leo is a childhood friend who played the guitar in this piece. Nice. Okay. Before we even get started, as you know, if you want to join the sphere, link is in the description. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. Join the Fable community, get an access plan if you want to, blah blah blah. Link is in the pinned comment down below. Let's get straight into this. No more shoulds. Let's go.
Hey, my dear friend, this one is for you. Doubting all you knew to be true. I can feel your pain. I've been in your shoes, losing myself in all the shoes.
Hey.
Should I be the perfect daughter and the perfect mother that the world expects from me? Should I follow what was written and then I apply?
Wait a second, that guitar is fire, man. That electric guitar really works here.
I've been in your shoes, losing myself in all the shoes. Should I be the perfect daughter and the perfect mother that the world expects from me? Should I follow what was written and deny a part of me? Should I take the job that doesn't bring me joy so that I check the box that I achieve? Should I choose to look inside and stop the stupid lies that made me fall on my knees?
I'm loving the guitar in the background, and I'm loving that. Hey, it's very awakening. It's almost like it's like kind of like a war cry to a certain degree, and it's like trying to wake you up. Like, you know, are you doing the whole should game today? You know what I mean? It's a very introspective question. It's like, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do it? Yeah, it's like in certain aspects, yes, shoulds are important. In certain aspects, no, shoulds aren't really important in the sense that, but I think it's all very connected to your moral standing. I think it's all connected to your virtues, right? And what you hold for yourself. And I kind of feel like, you know, if society tells you to do something that you know that is, you know, it's innately wrong, and it goes against your moral standing, then no, you shouldn't do that, right? You absolutely shouldn't do that. But then there are other elements where, yes, you should. It's like, should I be a better mother, or at least strive to always be a better mother? Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone, it's a very honorable thing to do, is to always strive to be a better parent. You know, no parent's perfect, and I think if we strive every single day to be better parents, yeah, I think we should do that. Should I be chasing a check as opposed to my passion? Yes, I think that. Should I be chasing like? In certain instances, no, you shouldn't be chasing a check, but it depends on what your life situation is. I mean, if it means that you need to put food on the table, right, and there's a responsibility to children and things like that, maybe you should chase the check for now, but not forget about the fact that you also want to chase your own things. Like, I always think that it's a very, what I like about what you're doing over here is it's kind of like you're posing the question, which is, it's a question that sits on the fence. It's a very fine balance over here, because yes, certain things you should and certain things you should not do, essentially. But this whole should question is completely down to you and what you hold dear and what you are as a person and what your moral virtues and standings are. Right? I believe we should be good people. I believe that we should pay attention to ourselves and we should try and improve ourselves, but we also shouldn't be overly obsessed with ourselves, because that just turns us to misery, and we become these like victim we become these victim species that can't do anything for anybody else because we're so engrossed with our own sort of mentality. So I'm really in this whole victim thing today. I think it's because I read this one article that just absolutely bent me out of shape, right? Weird world we live in. Anyway, you get my point. Yes, certain things we should do, certain things we shouldn't do. But I guess that's up to you in your life to decide, right? And I mean, what do you stand for and what do you stand by? And I guess those shoulds will fit in there. So let's carry on.
Truth outside, losing hope, doubting what's inside. From my memories, it ain't hard to see that the one holding back was me. I know you've been losing faith and falling to the faith to question if a God exists. If he doesn't listen, maybe he's within you. Listen close. Some of
What was that? If he doesn't listen. That is an amazing, amazing line over there. If he doesn't listen, maybe he's within you. Listen close. That actually plays into these books that I actually read. I don't know if you guys have never read this, but you guys should probably read this. It's actually amazing. It's called Conversations with God. Right? It's a 3-part series. It's Neil Donald Walsh that wrote it. Very introspective thing. Another great book down that alley as well is Tuesdays with Maury, right? Talking about the existence of God within and how you see yourself and like who you should really listen to, right? It's actually having a conversation with God is if you actually ask the questions, even if God doesn't respond, you know what the answers to those questions are. It's actually, it's crazy. I'm not going to get in depth because I can sit just talking for hours on it, but let's just carry on.
within you, listen close. Some of us are making changes, going through the phases, trusting something we can see. So I just to hear inside and stop the stupid lies that made me forget I'm free.
I like this part.
No more shoes today. We'll find our own way. If God doesn't listen, maybe He's within you. Listen close. No need to keep these chains around you. No need to be what you think they need. Please be you, unchain your heart. I see through you. Let them see your light. Hey, no more shoes today. We'll find our own way.
So I really like this song. The only thing is I think that the premise of the song, using the word should, right, can sometimes be sort of misconstrued because it kind of it'll give some people an out. This kind of song, I know where you're coming from, right? And it's like, I get it. I get what you're saying, right? And, you know, somebody who is willing to introspect on the song like this and is not playing into all of those insecurities would be like, yeah, okay, I get the song, right? But then you do get the people that is like, yeah, man, good point. I shouldn't be doing fucking anything. Know what I mean? I should be doing whatever I want to do, right? So I'm going to eat McDonald's 3 times today. I'm going to sit and watch Netflix because it's my life. Who are you to tell me what to do, right? Why must I chase a paycheck? Damn. Yeah, why must I work for this prick? Why must I? Sometimes those things you really need to look at. Like, those things, whoa, hey, like, you gotta like sort of pull the reins on the horses a little bit and be like, whoa, I didn't mean that, right? Some things you should probably do, you know what I mean? You probably should sort of like take care of yourself, and you probably should not just let everything go and think YOLO, hey, you only live once, or I shouldn't be sort of like tied down by society. Certain societal things are good to like sort of follow, right? So like that's what I'm saying. This kind of playing on the word should is very down to someone's like sort of moral standing and the position that they're in, right? Because a lot of the times people can feel like, there's a lot of times you'll hear people saying, it's like, no, you must think of yourself and you first and blah, 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 blah. And then they get so engrossed with themselves that they actually just land up destroying themselves because they think like, oh, nothing else in the world matters. And, being responsible to others doesn't matter, right? It's like you probably shouldn't do that, right? Because people are looking for, sort of like off-ramps from their responsibilities, and they're looking for off-ramps from hardships, and they're like, oh, I'd rather just not deal with that, right? So why should I deal with that? I mean, let me just like sort of sweep it under the carpet and it will kind of resolve itself. You shouldn't do that because it's gonna come around and it's gonna bite you. No one in history has ever gotten away with not even one thing. Not even one thing has anyone ever gotten away with it, right? It eventually will come back. So you probably shouldn't do that. So yeah, so I think the word should, from where you're coming from, I understand it, but I think it can be misconstrued depending on the person and their situation and their environment, essentially. I don't know if I'm making any sense. But anyway, love you all. Please stay safe. Please stay healthy. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.